Lincoln Riley and USC humbled again in defeat yesterday. They lost 38-20 to Chip Kelly, hot seat Chip Kelly, I'm told, and the Bruins over there at UCLA. And this was pretty dominant. So dominant that you see the rushing totals on the screen right now. If you're listening on podcast, UCLA 199 on the ground, USC 3. They lost the turnover battle 3-0. They got pushed around on the line of scrimmage. I know that's a rinse and repeat stat or statement. Did you see Dan Mullen's tweet? Dan Mullen has things so thoroughly figured out. Go coach for a little while, build yourself an immense net worth, then live the buyout life, and then go work in TV, where you're never wrong, by the way. Like some folks figured that out a long time ago. Gruden figured that out. It took him a long time to get back in football. Well, Dan Mullen's figured it out. So Dan Mullen's just sitting in a studio in Bristol, Connecticut yesterday, and he tweeted the following. Are we sure they have the right coach on the hot seat in L.A.? Welcome to the party, Dan. Consequence-free. Say whatever you want to. As a fired football coach, by the way, say whatever you want to. And you know what? He's not terribly off base there. And I guarantee you, if that thing got liked and retweeted, you'd be shocked how much of that traffic came from Southern Cal football fans, because they don't necessarily like what they're seeing right now. Lincoln Riley, we got a 2-year sample size at USC. He is 2-7 versus top 25 teams now. And in those games against top 25 competition, they're giving up 42 per game on average. I have no idea where this is going. I have no feel for this. I thought once upon a time I did. It's become pretty clear the hope I had for some of the changes and the evolution in philosophy that Lincoln Riley would have when he went to USC has not happened. And it doesn't look like it's in the immediate works either. He's 40 years old right now. Lincoln Riley's 40 years old right now. They just finished a season 124th in scoring defense. He fired the defensive coordinator. He's got no college football playoff wins despite multiple Heisman winners and more Heisman caliber quarterbacks. They're not recruiting California well at all. Some of the numbers bear that out. And he's got soft teams. Not soft in relation to someone you'd see playing at the playground. Like they could smoke your 8-on-8 team physically, but they don't play 8-on-8. They play Utah. They play UCLA. And you know who they're playing next year? They're playing Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State, Iowa. Like, can you imagine if they don't significantly overhaul the profile of this program? Do you imagine how bloodied they're going to be? And it's going to happen long before the middle of the season like it did this year. I think one of the mistakes being made perceptionally around USC football is some folks tend to think that as soon as Lincoln Riley hires an elite defensive coordinator, things will be fine. That is not the only problem out there. Hiring an elite defensive mind is the beginning, but that's not the end-all, be-all. The culture of the program has to change. What does it matter if I'm Lincoln Riley and I bring in the top defensive mind in the game? Pick who you want. Nobody's off limits. Pick who you want. I bring him in, but I don't change talent acquisition. I don't change strength and conditioning. I don't change practice habits and philosophy. I don't change the attitude of the program. I don't really overhaul my culture. I just think I'm gonna put a DC and I'm gonna take his name and put it in the blank here, and I'm gonna tell him, hey, fix the defense. See you in the fall. That's not the way that works. It's not the way that's gonna work. They enter the Big Ten next year. They closed the season 1-5 after they started 6-0. And like I said, they got outrushed 199-3 last night. It's not close. And I hate that statement. You know I hate that phrasing. But in this case, if you ask how close is USC to playing championship level football, I'm going to say they're not there and it's not even close. And it would be accurate. And then the follow-up from Norman, Oklahoma is just laughter. And the follow-up from outside Norman is, well, what's he going to do? I don't know. They're certainly in the market for a defensive coordinator right now. You hear a bunch of names thrown around. I'm going to stay on record with this. I'm sure they'll hire a pretty big name, maybe an impressive name. That is not the end of the road. It's not like a turnkey, let's put a big name in the seat here and we'll just immediately rapidly scale our defensive performance. You will not. If you don't change the foundational pillars or tenets of that program, nothing much is going to change. And some defensive coordinator will come out there and he'll look around and he'll realize this soil's terrible. It doesn't matter what I plant in it. And then his name's going to get dragged through the mud because he was supposed to come in and do there what Jim Knowles has done at Ohio State. Ryan Day's got the culture that's conducive to overhauling a defense there. Does Lincoln Riley have that? And that's the second time this month that I've compared those two. I'm not quite sure why my mind keeps going back to that. I think it's because they had similar criticisms a couple of years ago, not tough enough defensively, and one of them got to doing something about it, and the other one just said, I'll outscore folks. You will not. No, you will not. You may outscore the first half of your schedule. You will not continue to do that.